The rationale behind the decision to go after a bond and get it done has to do with our vision of a future California and the nation, best described by Dr. Martin Luther King and his vision of the beloved community for America. And so it's not enough money to solve the nation's problems, but it's enough to catalyze and send a message to the people doing this work. Here are some resources to help you get that work done in a more catalytic and impactful fashion.
The good troublemakers of California are really painting a vision for something different that is beneficial to not only them and their experience, but something that will inspire all of us.
The way that this kind of investment, the social bond, can help bring about systemic change is by building the power of those communities who have been most impacted by the problems that we've been trying to address for decades.
The more ways in which we can develop platforms that enhance our ability to maintain the organizational bones and tools that we need to do this work, the more of our time can be spent on the front lines.
The social bond investment is really a beautiful opportunity for organizing to be anchored and resourced in a way that has been vitally necessary for the movement.
When I think about people of color and when I think about women and immigrants and people who are on the margins in our society, those are the folks who are gonna push our society forward. They're just untapped assets. Investments like the social bond really allow for us to uncover and unearth all those assets in our communities. The more people who are engaged, the better, because these are skills that you can't necessarily learn at a community college or a university. They're things that I think are absolutely critical to the health of our democracy.
The people closest to the issue are genuinely closest to the solutions. For advocates or for people around them, people who are working in grassroots organizations, they're the ones that are on the front lines of these social injustices, that they're also working to change. That kind of infrastructure is crucial for that work to happen.
We all need a village. We all need people who care about us and provide structure and parameters and be there for us when we need them the most. How do you support young people in finding their voice, finding their way, making sure they're seen and visible to themselves and to their friends, family, and community?
Our movements end up losing some of the most talented, incredible organizers because of this burnout over short and fast periods of time. What the social bond would do is help prevent that from happening.
What's different about this investment is that it's a long-term investment in growing that power building infrastructure over time in ways that allows us to experiment, to learn, to take huge risks, to make that transformational change.
The endowment is saying there's a different way to proceed. There is a way that suggests that the only way forward is together, not just to survive, but to thrive. That we need to make bigger, bolder investments, that we need to be willing to take some risks, that we need to trust practitioners who are on the ground every day interfacing with senoras and formerly incarcerated people and poor and oppressed people who are dependent on our public systems for their survival to become authors of their own futures.
Relationship is at the core of power building. People need to see and hear and care for one another. It is not just people, it is every living thing on this earth that demands our respect and recognition. Without that recognition of relationship, we're not building the kind of sustainable power that our people need.
We are the
Good troublemakers
of California.
Together, we can bring
Change and a voice for all in California.